All right, let's get right into it. Like I promised, I'm gonna be getting on here and covering a main topic or certain topics. Today, we're just gonna be covering a topic of weight loss in regards to calorie deficit. Okay, calorie deficit. You need to understand how many calories you're supposed to be consuming per day. What's your requirement? Make sure you're consuming the right macronutrient calories and just staying consistent as long as possible. That way you don't overeat and you're continually beating around the bush, not getting the results that you're looking for, especially for weight loss. The majority of us are always after a goal of weight loss, and muscle building does come around at a certain time and place, and that can happen simultaneously together. But today we're going to be covering how to lose weight. If you're on a journey of losing weight, you need to learn, you need to understand and acknowledge calorie deficit. So with that said, this is for all my members. This is for all my subscribers. If you're new here, glad to have you. Make sure you subscribe and be part of the fight. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. So, calorie deficit. Calorie deficit. We're going to be always going back to this number one tip right here. And this is the kind of information that I always give to all my new members. So I'm doing it a little bit new. The program is growing a little bit more than usual. I used to be able to just go out there and cover this topic every single boot camp, maybe once or twice every boot camp, because I had less schedules. But now we're a little bit bigger, so it's hard for me to keep up on getting everybody on the same page on this in the boat when it comes down to calorie deficit and eating the right calories in regards to macronutrients, good fats, good oils, a lot of lean meats, just like this. Lean meats, good fats, and good oils, lots of vegetables, some fruit. So there you have it right there. So lean meats, right? Lean meats, good fats and oils, a lot of vegetables, some fruit. If you just keep that in mind when you go grocery shopping, you will not be deprived of your protein, of your good fats, good oils, and good carbs when it comes down to macronutrients. So now, the thing that you need to understand is the body's not going to function properly. It's not going to perform properly if you don't give it the proper nutrition. What I mean by proper nutrition: clean nutrition, clean food. What's clean food? The less processed possible. Try to buy your food to its natural state. The closer to its natural state, the better. Lean meats. When it comes down to lean meats, there's a lot of types of meats out there. Some of it is highly processed. Some of it is low processed, where it's grass fed, and sometimes they lean them out. What does it mean when it's lean meats? They go in and reduce the saturated fat from the meats. Like if you get some lean chicken, you're hardly ever going to see any saturated fat on there. Therefore, it will be leaner than usual. There's a little bit more calories when it comes down to grams of fat and oil. Like for every gram of oil or good fat, it's 9 calories. For carbs and protein, it's 4 calories per gram. So you got to understand, when you're consuming more fat, good fat, polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, and saturated fat, omega-3s and omega-6s, those are good fats and good oils. I always use coconut oil. When it comes down to cooking my food and my vegetables and stuff like that. So lean meats, good fats, and good oils. A lot of vegetables, some fruit. Why a lot of vegetables? Here's why. Vegetable is very high on fiber. Vegetables are going to give you its vitamins and minerals, and it keeps you full. When you consume, let's say, because we have greens here. We have greens, like a supplement of greens, which is good. The greens that we have here in the program are very little processed, and you feel good. You even feel energized because of the vitamins and minerals that it carries. But here's the difference when it comes down to powdered and just organic whole food. When it's whole food, now your body's going to digest. That digesting process is going to help you raise your metabolism and burn extra calories throughout the process and keep you full longer because it's digesting. It's not going to be hungry. You're not going to be craving or being hungry once the body is digesting any fiber, any vegetables, any protein and stuff like that. So a lot of vegetables. That way you get the right nutrition. And then, so we covered lean meats, we covered good fats and oils, we covered lots of vegetables, and now some fruit. Notice I said some fruit, okay? Not a lot of fruit, not as much fruit as you want because it's still a sugar. It's a good organic sugar, fructose. It's still good. It gives us energy. It gives us glucose, fructose. So, but it's still more calories. For every banana that you eat, it's around 100 to 120 calories each. Depending on the glycemic index on every fruit, you're going to be raising your sugar levels and or raising your calorie intake. If you're on a calorie deficit, you have to be very careful on your fruits. That way you don't consume all your calorie requirement just on pure fruits. Okay, so now that we covered that number one tip, let's look at it one more time. Lean meats, good fats and oils, lots of vegetables, some fruit. All right, so always remember that. Now that we have that down, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you leave them down below. If you're a member in my program, make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know that you acknowledge this information. Hit that like button as well. And one last thing, share the video. If you're a subscriber, same thing. Leave me a comment, a question, or concern down below. Share the video, hit that like button, and let's keep going because we're fighting for the body we want, right? Now, let's go into the calorie deficit. Calorie deficit, all that means is consuming less calories than what you're required. A little bit less calories, a little bit. Be very careful on how big the deficit you're making because you don't want to tear down any muscle to where you go into catabolic state where the body has no calories, therefore it has to take them from muscle. Okay, there is such a thing as going into catabolic state. If you're consuming the right nutrition, a good amount of nutrition, it goes into anabolic state where it starts building lean muscle tissue. So be very careful when it comes down to your daily calorie requirements. The way you do it is you figure out your daily calorie intake, usually your own body weight times 10 to 12. You times it by 10 or either 12. Around there, it's an estimate. We have calculators out there to where it shows you that they're super precise. And they'll give you around an estimate as well. Everything's going to be an estimate, but as long as you understand and know, then you'll be good. You can always tweak it around. Maybe reduce it a little bit more if you can kind of reduce it just a tiny bit or raise it if you're kind of going through a lot of hunger pains or cravings and stuff like that. So you can always tweak it, not too much until you hit the sweet spot. All right, so 300 to 500 calorie deficit should be the norm. Anything greater than that, than 500, then you're asking for destruction on muscle tissue. So you got to be careful with that. So here's an example. As for me, my daily calorie requirement just to maintain the muscle mass that I have, the performance physically in my metabolism, it's around 2,100 calories a day. 2,100 calories a day. So my daily calorie requirement to lose a good amount of weight throughout the week, maybe 2 to 4 pounds a week, depending where you're at on your journey, then that's what, 17. So that's 400 calorie deficit. 1,700 calories is my daily calorie requirement. Okay, so that's 400 calorie deficit. My maintenance is 2,100. And throughout the week, I consume 1,700. That puts me at a 400 calorie deficit. Now, here's the last thing. If you're keeping track of your calorie intake, it's not just about overall calorie intake. It's about the type of calories. Make sure you're consuming enough protein throughout those 1,700 calories. Your second thing will be good fats, good oils. The third you need to be paying attention to is going to be your carbs. Okay, still have carbs unless you're practicing the ketogenic diet or some kind of diet is super low in carb, then you just need to worry about good proteins, good fats and oils, and then very minimal fruits, berries, and stuff like that, and you're good to go. So there it is right there. Just pay attention to your protein intake. That way you're not craving too much, you're not hungry too much, and you feel the muscles with branched-chain amino acids from the proteins. Make sure you understand your daily calorie intake, and then from there you tweak it around. All right, that's the calorie deficit that I'm talking about. You cannot out-train bad nutrition. Sooner or later, if you're not consuming the right nutrition, the body's going to give up. It's not going to get lubricated. It's not going to perform properly. It's not going to recover and heal properly. You have to concentrate lean. You got to concentrate lean meats, good fats and oils, lots of vegetables, some fruit. Concentrate on those 4 factors on your nutrition, and you're going to be good to go. Again, if you have a question, comment, or concern, make sure you leave it down below. I love reading your comments, answering your questions, all that good stuff. If you're a member or a subscriber, thank you for all your support. Thank you for being part of the fight, because we're fighting for the body we want. And if you're new here, you haven't subscribed yet, if that subscribe button is still red, subscribe. Hit that notification button as well. That way you don't miss none of my future videos. You guys take care. Be safe. Be nice with each other. Always and forever, mind, body, and strive.